Okay, quick run through the south side of the mudroom. I did use this as my template for what I was going to design, and let's go through it. So these drawers work out just fine. I actually like the drawers a lot. What I didn't do here was have a recessed toe kick because we're already tight on space, and if I did a 3-inch recessed toe kick, it's going to make this look so crowded. So I kept it as a flush face frame with a 1.5-inch face frame around and inset drawers. This is just for now, but this is what I thought would work best. There's probably going to be an applied molding here, so I made this bottom lateral 2.25. So if you apply a 3/4 applied trim to the bottom, the reveal of the bottom lateral is still 1.5 to keep the perimeter frame equal in size. And then these stacked units above, I made these 12s, but you could also do 24s, which I think is what they had on the prints. The elevations, I didn't see a side unless there was something that I was missing, like if I didn't have a page or if you didn't email me a page. But this is what it would look like. Oh, they're not showing up. Well, that's a bummer. I actually, hold on, let me pan out of this for a sec. Here they are. They're hiding from me. While I have this like this is what Al and I came up with. That duct that is in the southwest corner, this is what we would do in the cabinet. So you're gonna lose a little space behind there. But let's move this guy back in so you can see what it looks like with the deeper unit. I don't think you're going to want to. Bear with me as I do this. We'll go another 12 feet here, and you go where you belong. Oh, too much. I love when I make a video like this and I struggle while my client's on the phone. Okay, so there it is. I dislike this. I really, in all honesty, I like the idea of the 12s there instead, because if you're doing this nice 1-inch thick, and I know they called out a 2-inch thick, but that is not a good dimension for the spacing that we have here and the riser. Why hide all of that wood top? As a matter of fact, if you were to do the 12s, like I'm suggesting, these guys here, you see more of the wood top, and you also have somewhere else to sit. I know these doors swing and you're not supposed to sit there, but the reality of a mudroom is the more space you have like this, the better. So as we're talking about this, there's another option, and that is to bring this vertical down and this vertical down and have the doors about a 1/4 inch above the top. And when you swing the doors, you would see the wood top in there. Or you have the riser like I'm showing it here, and the bottom inside of the cabinet is just part of the design. So while we're here, and I was talking about that shoe molding, I want to point out that it will have to return here, and that will be something that's going to conceal the gap between the bottom of the riser for the 2-drawer base and the floor. So there will be a trim issue here, but what we'll do is we'll round a return on the edge of this, and it's really the only way to do it. Moving along, I want to talk about the linear alignment of the drawers here. You know how it is in architecture. You want the clean line to follow across here, which it does. So these drawer fronts are the same size, same frames, and the same distance going across. So all of this aligns here, but in order to do that, you have to put a riser on this 1-drawer base. I would make this a 2-drawer base, and why not take advantage of the fact that you have this room here? In one option, and I'm not saying that this is a match for your needs, but I did a dog bowl rollout drawer where you push it in and it extends out, and then there's 2 dog bowls in there for your, or 1, depending on how many pups you have. And it's got a vinyl platform, so it's super easy to clean. I don't know if you would feed your dog out here and maybe store the food somewhere like this or up here somewhere, but it's a cool option, and we can do other things with this riser. I just wanted to say there's a lot of space here to use if we maintain this lateral alignment on the frames like I'm showing here. These right now are just slab doors because we need to talk about what we're going to do with the door style here. But the uppers, see how they have a 22.5 door? I didn't do that. These are 11 and 5/8. The reason I didn't do that is if you bring this down another 10 inches, or I'm sorry, another 8.5 inches, what do you have? You have a door swing here that comes out in somebody's head space. So if the door is left open, that corner of the door could just bang somebody in the head. It's at like a very, very inconvenient level. Moving along in the uppers, I'll stop at the arched valance and we'll talk about how this is actually going to look. This is just temporary. What I need to do here is I need to do like a 1.5 inch vertical because you can't bed the valance into a straight point like this. I wish you could because I like the look, but you have to bed it into a vertical surface. So this is what it would look like. The arch would actually terminate here, but I didn't want to get too much into that detail because I'm kind of at a preliminary stage here. Just like it was in this here, double doors over here, double doors up here. And there is an option here to do uplift hinges for these upper doors, which a lot of people like for the mudroom. And what that does is if somebody is like 6'4", it eliminates the open door head impalement issue that I was talking about before. Up here you can see I started the framing plan that Al and I were talking about to make that 5-inch soffit. And that pesky round duct that's back here is something that I built around in this unit. So there's the drywall applied, and you'll see in here that this framing with the drywall applied is 5 inches. You probably can't see it, but that's the plan. Actually, I snapped the wrong place. That says 4.5, but this would be a 5-inch soffit. Al and I talked about that. You'll notice that I have an expansion gap here. This expansion gap is needed to take the deflection out from the ceiling. It's also 3 5/8. So if we did a 2-inch applied molding, the 2 inches as it comes down from here to here is gonna leave your 1.5-inch face frame reveal, similar to what I did with the shoe at the bottom. So the perimeter frame is equal in size even after the moldings are applied. That's something that often gets overlooked in millwork layouts. So this is what we have so far here. I've covered all the details in this video. Please give it a review, and your feedback is both anticipated and appreciated.